watched a series on Netflix called Swamp Kings. It's about the University of Florida football team of the early 2000s. And their quarterback at the time was Tim Tebow, who's now a well-known person. He was an amazing football player. And what's interesting about him is he's very religious. He did not drink, didn't smoke, probably didn't swear. He was a virgin. And he was an absolute monster on the football field. And it was very interesting to watch him and listen to him talk about playing football, because here's this person with this really gentle speaking voice, a very holy person, and he talks about being obsessed with winning and being a total gladiator and warrior. And it's interesting how those things can exist in the same person. Another thing that was interesting was he was very different from all of his teammates. His teammates liked to party. They liked to do all the things that he didn't do. And he was their leader on the football field. He was as intense as any of them. He worked as hard as any of them. And they had a brotherhood that transcended everything. It transcended religious belief. It transcended race. It transcended background and upbringing. They were warriors together, and it's a beautiful thing to watch. And what's really interesting about the series is the concept of playing to win. Because before this group of players came to Florida, and before their coach came to Florida, Florida was not winning. And he came and started to change the attitude because he wanted to win. And he recruited these players, and they wanted to win. And he taught them to want to win and to do whatever it took to win in an ethical way, meaning just to work unbelievably hard. They pushed themselves beyond all limits. They did crazy things. They became obsessed with winning. And I think in a lot of ways, that story and those types of stories are frowned upon in the US because big time sports programs tend to be associated with lawlessness and things like that, corruption, and people think that being obsessed with winning or winning at all costs is unhealthy. And there was a time when I thought the same thing, but I was not a winner. Today, I'm much more of a winner than I've ever been before, and I play to win. Certainly more than I ever have before. And I can understand the philosophy that was espoused in that series much better than I've ever been able to before. And I admire the commitment to winning that that team exhibited. And it worked. They won 2 national championships in 3 years. There's something really admirable in that kind of commitment to something bigger than yourself, to something worthwhile. There's something admirable about being willing to give everything. That's a beautiful thing, and it's a beautiful feeling.